Hi, today I'm sharing my experience of late perimenopause and the dark night of the soul, which can feel like a direct line into your psyche. Perimenopause is often spoken about, of course, as hot flushes and sleepless nights, and obviously your hormones are changing and can feel all over the place. For me, it's been crashing fatigue and an absolute flood of deeply buried subconscious beliefs resurfacing. Beliefs that maybe I'd masked with avoidance, like avoiding money, avoiding my true desires, all tangled up in not feeling good enough. I thought I'd dealt with it. So I'm going to share my story with you today. Hi, I am Delith, and I am a trauma-informed practitioner and therapeutic facilitator. I guide women to become secure so that they can improve their well-being and their relationships and can access more of their true nature. Now, around the time that I birthed the Becoming Digital program, so last it was February of 2024. I actually said to my body, I want you to take me through the menopause. And at this time, I was 49, I was going to be 50. I'm 51 now. Now, be so careful about what you ask for because your body is listening. Your body is so intelligent. And not long after that, my system drastically shifted gear and I was experiencing intense estrogen crashes. Before that, I had very little symptomology. I want you to bear in mind that this is my lived experience, which may be different to yours. But 2 months ago, I had what I know is a dark night of the soul. I've had a few of them over the past 10 years, but this one felt the most acute. It felt like an intense ego death and essentially was the accumulation of an identity shift that's been happening over the past 18 months in alignment with late perimenopause. This experience, though, it felt like a failure. And I was questioning everything. I was asking, after all of this inner work, how can I still be here? But now, 2 months on, I see this very different. I see this as an essential experience. My psyche, my body, my being was clearing out old stories that I was clinging on to and preparing me for where I am heading next. So in July, it all came crashing down. But the paradox was it happened at the exact moment that something wonderful was unfolding. One of my heroes, Dr. Bruce Lipton, had shared my Becoming program in his newsletter. The link is below. Now, this should have been a high moment. I mean, and it was. But I crashed. I was burning out and I felt so unwell. I was aching all over. I was drained of energy and I was spiking between anxiety, so fight and flight, and the freeze response. And I couldn't stop crying. And with this came all of the fears. I had ignored something for years because I wasn't ready to address it. And this suddenly came up and it caught up with me. And I had to make a decision that I did not want to make, that I never thought I would have to do. But my hands were tied. And I had to do something to get myself out of a really tricky spot. This then forced me to rest. And I was forced to stop. And I had to face these very deep, very much survival-based fears and beliefs that I had buried. But I was ready to go there, even though it was very painful. This looked like waking up in the night in a panic and bursting into tears and being in tears throughout the day. And I was questioning everything, my intentions, my morals, my ethics, and my sense of purpose. What was I actually doing? I also felt shocked. I felt shocked because I'd done so much work on myself in this past decade. And I also had felt so grounded and so secure and confident until this very late stage of perimenopause. And so I was fluctuating between feeling secure and confident and then feeling very insecure and unconfident for around 18 months as my hormones were really moving through these very late stages with estrogen crashes. And it did feel like a direct line into my deeper psyche. It felt like a collapse 2 months ago. But now this is what I realized. It was not a collapse. It was actually a breakthrough disguised as a breakdown. And this is what I feel the perimenopause can do. It can strip away all the illusions that a woman is holding, and it can bring up what's hidden. And within that is the whispers of, this is your time, and you cannot carry this any further. It is not failure. It's your mind and your body working together to liberate you. And liberation, though, can feel so painful at the time. But it's important for me to say this to you, that the perimenopause can feel incredibly intense. And for some women, it can really tip you into experiences that feel immensely overwhelming, and you can feel very fragile with your mental health. And so if that's happening at the moment, make sure you reach out to loved ones, a trusted friend, or get professional support. I help women one-to-one, so you can also contact me. But it's important that you don't carry this alone. This time in a woman's life is not a time to be isolated. It's a time for you to be held, because the intensity of what's arising can feel very big, and it is not a weakness, but it is a sign that your system, my system, was demanding care. I had to self-care to the max. So if you are in perimenopause right now and it feels like you're losing control, I want you to know it's not the end, but this is a passageway. Think of the forest and imagine that you are a tree. In the autumn, your leaves will fall and the branches are stripped bare. And it can look like a death and it can feel like an ego death, but it's actually a birthing process. And you are being prepared, and there is space being created for new growth. And this is what this time is doing for you. And this is what this time has done for me. And I now feel very grateful, but it was very hard and it has been really challenging at times. But space is being cleared within you for the woman that you are becoming. In these past 18 months, I have returned to some very core practices that have helped my system to regulate, to allow this change to occur. One of these practices is heart-centered breath. And I invite us to do this together right now. And you can use this practice for any time that you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed. Let's do it together. First of all, bring your focus to the center of your chest, to your heart. And just begin to breathe in through your heart. And then breathe out through your heart. And you're going to just begin to slow your breath. So you're breathing a little bit slower than normally. And carry on breathing in through your heart. And breathe out through your heart. Breathing a little slower than normal. Breathing in through your heart. And then breathing out through your heart. And just continue in this way, breathing in and out of your heart. And if you'd like, you can say to yourself, as you do this, I am supported. I am safe. I am becoming more of who I truly am. And say it again, I am supported. I am safe. I am becoming more of who I truly am. I am supported. I am safe. I am becoming more of who I truly am. And just take a moment to see how you're feeling now. Are you feeling more centered, more at ease? Because this practice will help you to come into a more regulated, centered space. If my story resonates with you today, this is the kind of work that I do. I guide women through their becoming. And I have a digital program that you can begin straight away. This was recommended in Bruce Lipton's email, which is amazing for me. And these are a collection of 30-day breakthroughs that help you to feel safe, supported, worthy, and connected to your sensuality and connected in yourself again. You can begin today. It's only £97 for the full 6-module system. The link is below for you. And if this video has helped you today, just subscribe for more tools and stories to support you in becoming your true nature. I really appreciate you being here. And remember, what can feel like a collapse is often the very thing that is liberating you into your next chapter. Thank you for listening and see you next time.